Hello, good evening and welcome to Houseborn's World YouTube channel. Tonight I'm bringing you the very first part of my E3 coverage. It's a little slow in getting out to you, but please bear with me, I'm doing this as quickly as I can. So a little over 2 years ago I started my YouTube channel off the back of my brand new Ryzen CPU. And tonight I'm going to very briefly cover the AMD Next Horizons event. Now I'm going to keep my coverage of the AMD event as brief as possible. Please go and look up their live stream on YouTube or have a look at some of the more popular tech channels if you want more in-depth details. But in brief, AMD covered the brand new Zen 2 architecture and SKUs, and they also covered their up-and-coming Navi GPU, finally giving us a few more details. Now I want to start with the Ryzen CPU. Unfortunately, because of many leaks on the net these days, nothing is really kept a secret or a big massive surprise. But to be fair, until the event was live streamed, we couldn't confirm or deny the rumours. But it was absolutely true. AMD are now not only bringing a 12-core 24-thread CPU to the mainstream gaming market, they have now upped that to a 16-core 32-thread CPU. And I want to go into that in a bit more detail in a minute. Also was the new Navi GPUs. And just as the rumours predicted, they are not going to compete at the highest end with Nvidia. The RTX 2080 and the RTX 2080 Ti is still currently out of the realms of AMD's competition. But, and I'm pretty sure, although they've currently covered the lower end of the market segment, with the RTX 2060 and the RTX 2070, they're not going to be resting alone. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring a higher end graphics card. Whether we see that before the year's out, we don't know yet, but keep your eyes peeled. And if they do bring out a higher end card, I think they could quite easily rival Nvidia. Unfortunately though, they were lacklustre with the ray tracing, but they surely had a real dig at Nvidia, saying that the performance enhancements that they're releasing with Navi do not affect frame rate out of the box. But I've got to say, with the fact that the new consoles are going ray tracing, and we currently have ray tracing with RTX cards, is this going to punish AMD in another way that they haven't actually thought would damage them? We don't know. We'll only tell as time goes forward. Now going back to the Zen 2 CPUs, because this is what I really want to talk about. I was pretty much set up on getting the Ryzen 9 3900X coming in at $499. In the UK that's going to be roughly about £500. That's just how they convert it, and under my understanding I can do a BIOS upgrade on my Asus Crosshair Hero 6 motherboard, slot it straight in and move straight on. But AMD have moved the goalpost even higher with the Ryzen 9 3950X, the 16-core 32-thread CPU. But the thing is, the 12-core is releasing on the 7th of July with the Navi GPUs, and the Ryzen 9 3950X is not going to be available until September. Now, it's coming in at $749, which is a fantastic price for the CPU you're going to get. Now, I've got no doubt in my mind that the 16-core CPU is going to require an X570 motherboard. Obviously, the X570 motherboards are bringing us PCI Gen 4. Now, I'm quite well aware that new SSDs and NVMe drives will really capitalise on that open highway of speed. So yes, keeping my X370 motherboard, I'm not going to be able to gain in that respect, but as we've saw on the X570 motherboards, the South Bridge or North Bridge, whichever it is, I can't remember at this very late hour, has got active cooling on it. They've actually fitted a fan to it because obviously of the higher voltage and things going through it. Now, with that in mind, how is the X370 motherboard going to cope with that? So it may be the case that although I want to upgrade to the Ryzen 9 3900X, in the longer term I may have to get an X570 motherboard, or I might have to get an X570 motherboard right from the start. Now, until reviewers start getting test chips, or until AMD release much more details, we're not actually going to know. So although I want to do a pre-order, at this point in time it might be worth waiting just that little bit longer to see how they perform in their relative states. The last thing I want to do, especially using the PC for the channel, is knock it out of action. Now, I really would love the Ryzen 9 3950X, but I've also got a big feeling that the motherboard that will support that is going to cost a hefty sum, perhaps towards the prices we've saw with Threadripper. So that makes that almost, I would guess, a £1,500 upgrade. That is a big upgrade, considering that you could be spending 500, 400, or say £330 on an upgrade. So even though we've had a little bit more of a drip feed of information, there's still a lot that needs clearing up. And please comment down below what you think you would do with your upgrades. How would you go about the upgrades? Are you going to go for the X570 motherboard, or are you going to try and upgrade using your existing X370 or X470 motherboards? Something that we haven't really gone into detail either is the memory. Obviously with the Ryzen Zen 2 CPUs, the memory support is a lot better than the first gen Ryzen, or even the Zen Plus second gen, you know what I mean, Ryzen CPUs. I've heard, bound about watching and reading a few things on the internet, that DDR4 3600 MHz seems about the sweet spot on the newer CPUs. And then that begs into question, would an X370 motherboard run the RAM at 3600? I think it should, but not every board may do that. Again, more questions we need asked. Hello, yes, just a bit of a change here. This is the day after last night after filming, and I was about to just get the final polish on the edit and get this uploaded to YouTube, but I have an update on how technology never stands still. If you're in the market for one of the AMD graphics cards that we've seen here tonight, the 5700 series, I would say, whoa, hang on. Because although in their slides, and I'll quickly throw this up now, although in their slides they had a significant margin above Nvidia, the trouble is, if you poke and taunt the bigger monster, you've got to be careful that you don't wake it up. And it seems that Nvidia were just waiting for AMD to drop their brand new cards before releasing their Super Series. All we know at the moment is that this is going to be an RTX series refresh with faster clocks, better performance. Initially they're going to concentrate on the low end to very mid tier car or high end cards, as you would call it, all the way down from the 2060 to the 2080. and they are going to launch a brand new 2080 Ti Super, or whatever they're going to call it, 2080 Ti Plus. But there is an even better version of the 2080 Ti coming. It's going to have a brand new GPU chip in it, and as we all would expect, it's going to leapfrog the last 20 series generation. Now, some of you could say that's quite frustrating. Like myself, I've only had my Nvidia graphics card 6 months, but this is the world we live in. We all wanted competition, and AMD really poked its finger into Nvidia. Nvidia straight away has come back and answered, and are going to put out GPUs that completely swamp AMD's swan song. Now, it does make you wonder, are Intel going to do exactly the same, and in a couple of months' time premiere a chip that's going to circumvent and jump over the Ryzen 3000 series? I imagine that's a little more difficult, because I always think Nvidia's had a lot in the bag, but Intel could be doing exactly the same, waiting for AMD to launch and jump over. However it goes, don't feel too gutted, whatever camp you're in, whatever you've bought, because this would only mean that prices get far more competitive, and it gives the consumer, us, a lot more choice. I can't really give you much more information than this at the moment, but this has been confirmed on quite a few sites now. So please, if you're in the market to upgrade your CPU and your GPU, I would certainly just hang in there for a bit longer till the dust settles, and then I think this is going to be a buyer's market. Well, this is the end of the video now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and I will be getting more E3 content out as soon as I can. As you can see by the digs, I have another job as well. Anyway, enough said by me. Thank you for watching. Peace out.